Today, guys, we're going to talk about the Fiat 500C, and we're going to tell you all the good things about this car. It's quite awesome. And we're going to compare it against the Mini, and we're going to tell you the good things about the Mini. They are very similar, but there are some differences that you should be aware of. So let's get into it. Okay, first I want to talk about an elusive idea of the way the car makes you feel. The cars you're seeing on the screen are all cars I believe have this. So it's kind of like the fun factor, right? These cars give you feelings back. I've never really heard any reviewers talk about this before, but certain cars give you feelings back. And this will become important in this review of the Fiat 500C. And also the Mini. Let me know if you guys understand what I'm saying about cars that give you emotion back. Let me know, guys. Okay, let's get right into it. Let's talk about the Fiat 500. This car has that emotion, that fun factor in spades. It is wonderful to drive. It is, well, it's not serious. It's kind of a funny car. But it definitely gives you emotion and feelings, and it's cute, and it is actually performance. You know, much more than you would think. It has a performance factor to it. It revs very high. There's a long pull on each gear. It can handle the road really well. You can push it. If you push this car, it will respond to you and make a big smile on your face. I was very pleasantly surprised with this car. I did not expect it to be this good. A couple things that I would say that I wish that it had. I wish that it had larger tires, because I noticed that, well, you're getting a little bit of torque steer when you're really on it. With high RPMs, you're getting a little bit of torque steer. And also it seemed like when you go into corners, not quite gripping as well as I think it would do better with bigger tires. Now don't get me wrong, it drives well with the stock tires, but I think it would benefit from having slightly larger rims and maybe a little wider footprint. So anyway, but the styling inside is wonderful. First up, the interior of the Fiat 500C. Look, it's cute, and you know it's good quality. It's much better than a Volkswagen Beetle, the modern Volkswagen Beetle. God, those things are terrible quality inside. But this is good quality. Now here is your Mini. This is a Mini I rented recently, and my brother has a Mini S, which you should definitely get. Look at the difference in the interior. This is not a bad interior. It looks good. But I think I like the Fiat better in this way. One thing about the Mini, if you want to open the hood, double pull the hood latch. That's how you get it open. Alright, let's talk about the Fiat some more. Well, it is very cute, it drives well, and it tends to be more of a race car than the Mini that I just showed you. Now, the Mini Cooper S, damn, that thing's fun, honestly. It has long pulls on the gear, and it's a little 4-cylinder engine with a turbocharged of the Mini Cooper S. Very wonderful car. I can't say anything really bad about the fun factor of that. But the Mini I just showed you, not quite as cool. The gears, it was zippy, but zippy in the way that they geared it so the gears are very short. So this is kind of like, well, it's drivable, but it loses some of that fun. One thing bad about the Mini, I'll tell you, is that it seems to be much lower windshield. So you have to kind of crouch down to see out properly. Where the Fiat, no problem with this. You've got a very high amount of glass there. You're able to see around you very well. It's a small car, but as far as interior space, the Fiat definitely wins out. The Fiat definitely has more interior space. So, the Mini tends to have a little bit bigger wheels though, so it does tend to feel like it's more grounded. The Fiat, I've already told you that I believe that it would benefit from having a little bit bigger rim and a little more traction patch, because sometimes it felt a little teeny bit squirrely. Controllable. If you brought it to its limit, it was controllable. Look how cute this car is. Just wow. A lot of fun. And you always smile when you drive it. And I'm telling you, that elusive factor of the fun factor of this car is definitely there. You smile when you drive it. The car gives you back emotion. If you guys understand what I'm talking about, please comment below. Have you had a car, or maybe you've had many cars, that give you this emotion? The cars I was showing you in the beginning of the video, yes, they give emotion to you. That's why I owned them. But something like a Toyota Camry doesn't give emotion at all. It is like a good typewriter or a good computer. It just does the job. It doesn't really... it doesn't give you anything back, if you understand what I'm saying. You know, believe it or not, some BMWs I've driven and owned have been like that. Mercedes, same thing. But some of them, I'll give you the BMW Z3 and Z4. These give you emotion. They give you that elusive emotion back when you're driving it. It's kind of hard to explain this, but I hope you're understanding me. So, which car do I prefer? Well, the Mini Cooper S, if you can get one of those, buy that car. It's fun, it's an awesome car, but I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed the Fiat, and out of these two that you see in this video, I'd rather have the Fiat. I do feel, and this is funny for me to say, but I do feel that the Fiat was maybe not going to last as long as the Mini Cooper. This is just a feeling I'm getting. You know, I'm wondering if something breaks on the Fiat, is it repairable? And what's the longevity? Is it going to last 20 years? I don't know. But I believe the Mini Cooper will. I think they're made a little bit better. You can comment below if you disagree with this, but it's just like a feeling I was getting. Not to say the materials on the Fiat were bad at all. The interior was very well made. The car handled anything that we did with it. Very enjoyable to drive. The sunroof worked well. Obviously, that's going to need replacing in a few years because it's very exposed to the sun and it's made of fabric, so it's not going to last that long. But it works flawlessly. You know, you're getting good gas mileage in both of these cars. But definitely the Fiat is more responsive transmission. The Fiat has a automatic transmission, or you can get them with a manual, like my brother's Mini Cooper S turbocharged was a manual, is a manual, and it's wow, works really well. Like the transmission, really enjoyed driving that car. But I'll tell you that the Fiat's transmission is quite awesome. It's an automatic with manual override, and you can control it in the gears, and it does really good when you control it in the gears. It will actually answer to you very well, and that makes the car very enjoyable to drive at high speeds and winding roads. You know, you can ask it to stay in second or third, and it listens to you. It can downshift, pretty responsive. So in other words, if you call for a downshift, much more responsive than older transmissions. This one's designed to do that, and it's pretty darn good, I'll tell you what. The Cooper, I did not really play with that on the manual, on the automatic transmission, but on the manual, it's very slotty and very nice feelings. You know, the manual Mini Cooper transmission. So, all in all, if you wanted to sum it up, I think that if you can get a Mini Cooper S, definitely get an S. If you want to look into the Fiat, I believe that's really a fun car. It's an awesome car. It was surprising. Now, if you have been following my channel, you know that I used to be a car dealer, and I've literally actually owned myself 1,400 cars in my lifetime. So I'm trying to give you a little bit of my insight here on the Fiat 500C convertible. I had a much better time than I thought I would have with that car. I mean, I thought it would be kind of cute and fun to drive around convertible, but no. The damn thing is responsive. It gives emotion back to you. It really does. You know, I wonder how much better the Arabeth is. I'd like to try that. You know, it felt, you could feel the Italian feel to it, if you understand what I mean. If you're used to driving other Fiats, or even your high-end Ferrari, which you saw that I had before, or the Maserati, this is not that, of course, but you can feel this elusive desire to handle the road. You know, this one thing that the Italian cars do well is that they really grip the road, and they like corners, and they enjoy this. I'll tell you something else. Having this car on the islands of Greece is wonderful because you need something small. I have a Jaguar up here in Russia, and that car would drive on a road like this, but if you tried to drive in a city in Greece, I don't think you'd be able to maneuver, really. It would be very difficult to park and move around the small, narrow streets in Greece. So, you know, this car would be something to consider if you're not doing a lot of highway driving. That would be one thing about it. If you're doing high-speed, highway driving, you know, like you would do in America, in Florida, Texas, have you ever done that? Where you're driving 75 miles an hour, you know, breaking the speed limit even, you know, 75, 80 miles an hour, down a highway for an hour and a half. This car will do that, but I don't think it would like it. It's not really what it's designed for. It's going to be revving rather high. Well, anyway, I hope this was an insightful video. I tried to let you know everything I could about these cars. Thanks for coming along. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, ask me below, and have a good day, guys.